Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial mysteries that shape our world and sometimes reveal that not all that glitters is gold. Today we're digging into NioCorp Developments Ltd's latest scoop. And let me tell you, it is not your everyday piece of paper. This report, a Form 8K for you regulars, is basically a company's way of saying, hey, something important just happened, and we need to tell the world right now. This isn't a regular quarterly check-in. This report is for current events, so whatever is inside, it is fresh off the press and likely quite significant for NioCorp. Let's get a quick lay of the land. NioCorp Developments Ltd is registered in British Columbia, Canada, but their main US address is hanging out in Centennial. Colorado, their ticker symbol on the Nasdaq is NB, and they also have warrants trading under NEOBW. Now, about those shares, they have common shares without a stated face value, which is pretty standard these days. And then there are the warrants. These are like options that give holders the right to buy common shares at a certain price. What is interesting here is that each warrant allows you to buy more than one common share, specifically over 1.118 common shares. This could mean they offer leverage or dilution depending on how you look at it. The big news here revolves around a placement agency agreement. Think of this as a deal where Maxim Group LLC is helping NioCorp raise money by selling their securities to specific investors. It's dated the 17th of September 2025, and this is likely the core reason for this 8K filing. Raising capital is always a significant event for a company. This agreement is crucial because it details how NioCorp is bringing in funds. Companies do this to finance operations, expand, or pay off debt. How they structure these deals and who the investors are can tell us a lot about the company's current financial health and its future prospects. You also see an opinion from their legal advisors, Blake, Cassels, Sugraden LLP. This is standard practice to ensure everything is above board legally, and their consent basically means the law firm agrees their opinion can be used in this filing. It adds credibility to the transaction. Now, digging into the exhibits themselves, this filing points to the placement agency agreement and the legal opinions. What we don't see directly listed here are detailed financial statements, which is a bit unusual for a typical 8K that might accompany major financial events. However, this filing usually serves to announce the existence and details of these agreements as supporting documents for a larger registration statement, like their Form S-3. And of course, embedded within all this is the electronic data file, the interactive data file that the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, requires for easy analysis. It's like a digital tag for all the financial information. So, what's the story here? NioCorp is actively raising money. The placement agency agreement with Maxim Group LLC signals a capital raise, likely through the sale of shares or warrants. The date of the agreement, the 17th of September 2025, means this deal was recently finalized. This is a critical move for any company, especially one that might be in a growth or development phase. Companies often raise capital to fund projects, expand operations, or strengthen their balance sheet. Looking at the structure of their securities, they have common shares and warrants. Warrants add a layer of complexity as their exercise can increase the number of outstanding shares. The ratio here, over 1.118 shares per warrant, is specific and something to keep an eye on as it relates to potential dilution of existing shareholders if the warrants are exercised. The fact that this is filed as a Form 8K specifically under Item 8.01 Other Events emphasizes that this placement agency agreement is considered a material event for investors. It's not part of their regular financial reporting, but a significant development that impacts the company's financial structure and potentially its operational capabilities. Now, let's put on our Warren Buffett hats for a moment. When a company like NioCorp brings in capital through a placement agency, we want to know why. Is it to fund a revolutionary new project like their Elk Creek niobium project, which they talked about extensively, or is it to simply keep the lights on? Without the detailed financial statements in this specific filing, it is hard to assess the full impact. However, the act of raising capital itself suggests a need for funds. We ideally want to see this capital injection translate into tangible progress, whether that is advances in their mining projects, research and development, or reducing debt. We also need to consider who is buying these securities. Are they long-term institutional investors looking for growth, or are they more opportunistic buyers? The nature of the placement can give clues about market sentiment towards NioCorp. A successful placement is generally positive, indicating that investors have confidence in the company's future. On the flip side, any deal involving warrants carries the potential for dilution, If many warrants are exercised, the value of existing shares can be spread across a larger pool of shares, potentially lowering the earnings per S-share. This is a key risk for shareholders that needs to be monitored alongside the company S operational progress. In essence, this filing is a snapshot of NioCorp's active pursuit of funding. It highlights their reliance on capital markets to advance their business objectives. The involvement of Maxim Group LLC as a placement agent suggests a structured approach to this fundraising. Our overall assessment of NioCorp based solely on this filing is that they are in a phase where external funding is critical. The success of this placement agency agreement will be a key indicator of investor confidence and the company's ability to execute its strategic plans, particularly concerning their resource development projects. The specifics of the agreement, the amount raised, and the terms of any issued securities will be crucial details to follow in subsequent filings. The absence of detailed financial tables in this particular 8K means we are looking at the event of fundraising, rather than the results of operations for a specific period, which would typically be found in a 10Q or 10K. Alright, that is our breakdown of NioCorp's latest filing. What is your take on this fundraising news and what it signals for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. You can also join our growing community on Discord, linked in the description for more real-time insights and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next decode.